Hello and welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And today, my special guest, Mr. John Horn, so excited. Make sure and let all of your friends know. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Haugen's Gallery, Shortstops, Burger Shakes and Fries, and Suzanne Bogdavic and State Farm Insurance. For more information on Haugen's Gallery and their amazing personal branding, photography, and portrait studio, go to haugensgallery.com. And for more information on Shortstops, Burger Shakes and Fries and their amazing food in Albany, Oregon, go to southpawspizza.com. And finally, for more information on Suzanne Bodlovic and State Farm Insurance in Albany, Oregon, go to insurancewithsuzanne.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. I am so glad that you're all here today. What a blessed Thursday it is. You know, this morning I needed a little bit more rest, and I was thinking about how we actually take care of ourselves and how we show up. You know, it's really important to show up, but how you show up is so important. And I'm working with a friend and a client right now on showing up the right way and taking care of yourself so you can be a blessing and take care of other people. And I really learned that through this cancer journey, and so thankful that God has given me strength through giving myself a rest and just taking care of myself better. And you know what? That's something we all should do. It doesn't matter where we are in life. You know, we should eat better. We should exercise and just take care of ourselves. And I'm just so thankful for the ability to still be able to do that, even though it's on a small level. Every little bit counts. And that's something I learned too. Don't beat yourself up for not being able to do a ton and do gigantic amounts of things. It's just every little bit counts. Every step counts. So that's what we're here. That's what we're all about here on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. We're all about living a life of purpose, one step at a time, having a good perspective. You know, I talk about the power of perspective all the time and how important that is. How you look at life determines the actions you take. And so it's so important today for you to think about, what are you doing? You know, it's self-evaluation is not beating yourself up. It's not being negative. What it is it's taking a look at your life. What do you want to do better? How do you want to be a blessing to other people? And I think about that every day. I'm so thankful that I can be a blessing to all of you out there with these amazing guests like Mr. John Horn, who I have today, who's going to be just wonderful, full of information and value for all of you today. So really looking forward to that. So what is Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, all about? Well, we are all about how amazing people connect. I'm a true believer that connection and community building is the foundation for any good marketing plan, any good business. And so What does that mean? Well, true connection is really getting deep and getting to know people, not just surface and high. Connection is not actually contact is not connection. So you want to make sure that just contacting people does not make a difference if you don't truly connect with them. Because when you build community, your life prospers and your business prospers. That's something that if you want to talk more about, you can just go to russhedge.com because I love to connect and build community. I'm all about that. My marketing coaching and my business consulting can help you in so many ways. But also, my number one thing is I love inspirational speaking. Through my cancer journey, through my parents' senior Alzheimer's journey, and my dad had cancer, I've learned so much about life and things that I think inspire and bless others. God has used me to be able to do that. So if you go to russhedge.com today, you can find out all about that and all about my live streaming, of course. And I just want to chat. So you can connect with me whatever way works best for you, but you can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. I would love if you would do that today. Also, if you would be so kind as to please subscribe on YouTube, that would be so great. I would really, really appreciate that because we are growing the YouTube page, and all you got to do is know the name of this show. Marketing with Russ Live will take you straight to my YouTube page. So I keep it simple. I'm a simple-minded kind of guy. russhedge.com. If you know my name, you get to my website with everything. If you know the name of the show, you get directly to my YouTube page, and I would love for you to be part of that. So much value there. Hundreds and hundreds, going on thousands of people there that have so much value. All their connection information, including all the amazing people in this community that have been involved in the comments. I really, really encourage you, please engage in the comments today because we love to hear from you. Also, if you'd be so kind to share this out, share it, tag your friends, let them know, hey, Marketing with Russ is on and John's going to be on, John Horn. You're not going to want to miss that. So there's so many good things. Also, I just want to tell you, behind me, my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. If you want to get that, you go straight to my website at russhedge.com. Or also, I have 4 collaborative anthologies that were #1 bestsellers, #1 international bestsellers, and #1 on Amazon. I would love for you to get a copy of those. A little bit about my cancer journey, my life. But my first book really helps you live a life of purpose, positive perspective, really move forward, like I said, one day, one step at a time, and really make a difference and impact on your world. So, all right. And I think you're going to like today's marketing tip of the day, which we have coming up next. Every Monday and Thursday, I do a marketing tip of the day. And I think that a lot of times we sell ourselves short. So I'm going to talk about that in the marketing tip of the day. This gets cut out, put on YouTube Shorts, put on social media. You can share it separately with your friends, your family, your business colleagues. Encourage them. It's short, but it helps lift you up and get you going in the right direction and making that first step. So, all right, are you ready? All right, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. You can make an impact. That's right. You can make an impact. So many of us have limiting beliefs and we have imposter syndrome, thinking that what difference do we make in the world? Everything you do can make an impact on the people around you. So be intentional. Think about what you're doing. If you want to make an impact on the world around you, what are you going to do? You are going to plan and you're going to take a look at the steps you're taking, right? One step at a time. You don't have to see the whole staircase, right? Just one step at a time. So what are you doing? Are you waking up with a positive mindset? Are you smiling? And are you positively impacting people with a positive attitude? That's a really good start. And that's really not that hard. Some days it seems a little more difficult than others. I get it. But something you can do. Next, the way you talk to people, be kind to people, give value to people. Look at what you could do for them instead of always what they can do for you. And with all of that, you can make an impact on your world. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there you go. So just a little inspiration to help you get moving forward. I think it's time to get John in the room and get this show started. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, Russ, doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. I am just blessed to have you here and thankful. We had such a great conversation and really looking forward to having another one here today. So let's start with the basics. Who in the world is John Horn and what are you up to?
Let's see. I'm a husband. I'm a father of three, and I'm the CEO of a company, Stub Group, and it's a digital advertising agency. And we help clients with platforms like Google Ads and other things to make money online and to grow their businesses. And so I get to talk with all sorts of different types of businesses, learn about them, and figure out how we can help them succeed.
Well, first off, I want to tell you that I appreciate how you started that because, yes, you are a husband and a father first. And, God gives us that ability to be a blessing to our family and the people closest to us. And so many people get their job ahead of their family, which is so important not to do. Okay. So I'm just blessed to hear that. But let's talk a little bit more about the Google ads because, so many of us, all of that, the online presence and things that you do, so many of us are just not really smart in that area. Well, maybe smart's not the right word, but just don't have the abilities to do what we need to do. It's just not our forte. So tell us a little bit more about that and what you can do to help people.
Absolutely. So, when you think about kind of how people find information and find products and services they're going to choose to purchase these days, Google is the first place that many of us go. If the toilet is leaky, we're going to Google to look for a plumber. If we need to buy new shoes, there's a decent chance we're going to go to Google and start searching around, and so forth and so on. And so Google is an incredibly important place for businesses who need to connect with consumers to make that connection, going back to what you mentioned, making that connection. And so we look to facilitate that. And so, it's in some ways it's very straightforward. In some ways it's very complicated, but it's very straightforward in that, look, if someone goes on Google and is searching for what one of our clients is selling, I want our client to be there and to be able to get that traffic, get that interest, to be able to pay low enough to get that traffic to their website that they can still make money when they convert that person into a sale, into a purchase, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. And ultimately, again, help our clients grow their businesses by getting new customers in the door, by getting returning customers, continuing to purchase from them, and just being there when people are searching for the service or the product that they sell.
Yeah. I think that this is a good example of something that is simple, yet not easy. And what I mean by that, the concept is really simple, but it's not easy to put together for a lot of us. And that's where you come in, John. I have some great mentors and business people that I work with, and I could do enough to be dangerous, but yeah, not really. That's not my forte. That's not what I do for people. I can talk about it all day long and the benefits of it and why you should do it, but I'm not the technical guy. But when you go online, it is so important nowadays. For the most part, the yellow pages are gone. The other search things are gone, and people go on there. And not only do they look for the type of business they want, but my beautiful wife is a good example. She always looks at the reviews and what people say about that. So talk a little bit about the importance of what people are saying about you online.
Online reputation and reviews, they are critical. Like you said, most people, when they're researching someone to work with, they're going to check out what's been the experience of other people. And we inherently put much more trust into the words of other people about a business than we put into whatever the business says about themselves, for obvious reasons. And so when I'm going to purchase a product, let's say I'm looking for a vendor for my company and I want to find somebody who's good, I'm going to hire them. I am going to search, their name plus reviews online, and let's see what comes up. And I'm going to look to see, a couple things. What's the quantity of reviews, which is going to help me get a little bit of a gauge for, what size of a company are they? If they have one review versus 100, well, that tells me something. It might tell me, hey, they're really new and they haven't had the opportunity to get reviews yet. Or, hey, they've been around for 20 years and they have one review. That's weird. Things like that. And then also, obviously, what those reviews are. Are people positive or are they negative? And what specifically are they saying? But then also one step beyond that, it's not just what reviews are there, but how is the business responding to those reviews? What I want to see and what I encourage all of our clients to do is to respond to every review you get. If it's a negative review, that's an opportunity to be very professional, courteous, and handle the situation with grace. And when I see that as a potential customer, that tells me, okay, these guys are pros. There's always going to be negative reviews. You can't get around that, but they handle the situation well. They apologized for it or clarified or whatever. That's great to see. Or if they're positive reviews, which hopefully most are, then just seeing businesses saying, thank you so much. I'm glad that you appreciated our service, things like that. That's a signal to me that this business is on top of their game, that they know what's going on, that they care about their client relationships. And that's just a great signal to me that they might be a good place for me to spend my money and get the service or the product that I'm looking for.
So there's a really good point, and this is a difficult one. I'm going to throw you a difficult question because people go back and forth. I have my opinions on this, but I want to know what you think. So you get somebody that is out to get you in your company, and let's say it's unfounded. Let's say maybe you made a little mistake, maybe not, but nothing earth-shattering, nothing that you do not want to fix, but they are bent on destroying you and creating I've been in situations where people create their own websites and hit every social media and just broadcast all of this negative, not true information. How do you deal with that?
It's a great question. And unfortunately, I've seen that happen as well. And I think obviously there's always nuances to every situation, but in general, kind of the way I look at that is you should respond to, let's say, reviews online. If people are trying to tear you down, let's say there's a couple different things. There's definitely creating a website about you is a different level than, let's say, leaving a 1-star review on your profile. Most people are going to do more of the 1-star review, not the I'm going to put a bunch of work into taking you down. So in most cases, it's going to be an opportunity for you to, again, give that graceful response. And when I say graceful, it's really important because there's a fine line to walk. You don't want to come across as aggressive or super defensive in your response, even if the person who's left the review is completely, out to lunch. And I mean, I've had situations where people didn't even work, like they hadn't even worked with the company. They left them a negative review thinking it was somebody else. There's all sorts of weird things that happen. But regardless of what it is, you don't want to come across as aggressive. You don't want to come across as defensive. You want to say, thanks so much for this feedback. You want to generally just mention how you have tried to handle things with that person offline, and again, kind of request to do things offline. So a good example would be, hey, thanks so much for this feedback. We've tried to call you and have a conversation, haven't been able to reach you yet. Would still love to speak with you in person so we can discuss this. Please reach out, that type of thing. And then sometimes it can be as simple as that. Sometimes a little bit more context of speaking about maybe some of what was said, again, not going like point by point, defending yourself and how could you, but just giving enough context so that when someone else reads this review, they're going to see, okay, well, this person's yelling, but the business, had this little bit of context. There's obviously more to the story. And I think the important thing to remember is when you're responding to these things, you're not really responding to the person who left the review because they already have a perception. And oftentimes there's not much you can do to change that. What you're responding to really is everyone else who's going to read the review and trying to make sure that you handle the situation well so that they respect you as a business and see that you respect your customers.
Well, okay. I love that right there because I think the blessing of life is that most people are not like that. Number two, the other thing is we can only control what we can do. So I love what you're talking about. People are looking at what am I doing? What is my business doing? They're not looking at just the other person. And I am a big proponent of not getting in a discussion online. But I think that a short response of, I am so sorry you feel that way. We would love to we would love to reconcile this issue. Please join me offline in a private chat, and then to reach out to them privately, because then I think people see the fact that you're wanting to make an effort, but then you're actually having that discussion offline because discussions online never, this is my opinion, never win, because especially if you're dealing with somebody who's not making a lot of sense and then going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you end up losing people and you look defensive even when you're not trying to be defensive. So I think a lot of times I love what you're talking about. How am I dealing with it? And just move that person offline so you can actually try to be a help to them and try to make a better situation. Okay. So Google ads, a lot of people, I'm going to go back to that because there are Facebook ads, there's LinkedIn ads, there's Google ads, there's all kinds of stuff. Do you feel that Google ads is the best thing to put your money towards? Why? And how do you target that so you're actually hitting the people that you want to target? Because I know you get very specific with things online.
It's a great question. The way I usually answer that is to try and give you a little bit of a framework for how to think through this, because obviously answer for some businesses is going to be different for others. So the first thing that I look at is, are people searching proactively for what it is that you're selling as a business? And if people aren't searching proactively, then Google's probably not going to be a great place to be because it's a search engine. And so if they're not typing the words in, then you can't really show up to them. And that's where platforms like other Google platforms like YouTube, places like Meta, LinkedIn, etc., where you can say, this is the type of person that I'm trying to reach. Let me push my message to them. Maybe they don't know they have the problem that I can solve. And I need to first make them aware you have this problem and there's a solution. That solution is me. So that's one way to think about it. If it is something, if you are selling something that people are searching about, whether it's they're searching specifically for the product that you have, or maybe they're searching for solutions to a pain point, I should say, and you can come up as an ad and say, hey, we've got the solution. Then from there, kind of the next thing to look at is just how competitive is the space, because Google, as a very mature platform, there are a lot of advertisers on there. It's not the Wild West days of 10, 20 years ago where you can get crazy cheap clicks and kind of own a keyword because no one else is there. That doesn't really happen. And so you need to look just very practically at the marketplace, and most agencies and digital advertising managers have some tools that they can use to get broad ideas of what traffic is going to cost and how competitive it is. It's not an exact science, but broad ideas. And so then if we can identify kind of, okay, your goals are X, we're trying to generate leads, we can afford to pay this much per leads, or we're selling products and here's our margins, here's what a profitable order looks for us. And then we go and take a look at what the market is. And if we can see, hey, there's opportunity, there's traffic that we can get for X and we can convert it for Y, and there's enough margin there to make you profitable as a company, then that's where I'd say, okay, Google Ads is probably a good fit. Let's move forward and really put together an action plan of kind of what's the lowest hanging fruit initially that we can capture for you, prove the concept, make sure it's working, and then kind of scale from there to capture as much profitable traffic as we can for you.
Well, okay, so I love all this information because this is really what people need. And I love the fact that you're very thoughtful and taking a look at what is best for the client, right? What is going to work best for them. And I've got some other amazing friends that do this, and I love to prop you guys up and promote you because this is something everybody needs. So I am, your marketing guy. I'm kind of a long game guy, right? So when you are doing connection community building marketing, it can take weeks, months, years sometimes to really make an impact on people. That is hugely important, and everybody needs to be doing that. But you also need to be able to make an impact quickly to help your business at the same time. This whole know, like, and trust wheel works constantly on the long game and the short game. You got to find ways that you can build that know, like, and trust quickly. And I think that Google ads and online ads sometimes can be that way. One thing I know that's really true, and I'd like you to talk about this, and that is they're easy to track so you can know if your money is really working for you. Are the number of dollars you're putting out and the number of ads you're putting out returning results? Because I know they help you with those analytics and tracking, right?
Yes, tracking is a vital part of things. And this is one of the areas I'd say a lot of advertisers, a lot of businesses getting into advertising, they just they don't think properly about it. They don't understand the importance of it. It's more of, hey, let's run some campaigns and see if it works. But there's not a plan in place to say, how do we know if it works? How do we know which leads coming through our website, which phone calls coming into our, into our people are coming from the advertising we're doing versus just other stuff that's out there. And so we try with our clients to track as much as possible, through tracking codes on their websites, tracking, okay, people are filling out forms, people are placing orders, people are picking up the phone and calling, all those types of things we can track back to campaigns. Now, there are always going to be gaps. There's situations where it's like, hey, I saw the ad on my phone and then I pulled it up on my computer and I, filled out the form from my computer, things like that. So it's not a perfect world where you can track everything with 100% certainty, but you can track a lot of things and then extrapolate kind of beyond that and be able to see, all right, this part of my advertising is working. This campaign here targeting this category of keywords, this is driving a lot of profit for me. Like, this is working really well. And then over here, we're spending as much money on this campaign and we're getting nothing out of it. Okay, well, that's how we improve over time. We stop spending money on that, or we figure out, why isn't that working? Is there something we can change with the offer, with the landing page, with the ad copy, etc.? If not, if it's just too far from where we need it to be, let's stop spending money there. And hey, we can spend that money over here much more profitably where it's working. And that idea of constant iteration and improvement over time is really important, because advertising is not set and forget it. There's always moving parts, moving wheels, things that are changing that you've got to stay on top of and work on over time.
That's right, because otherwise you are living the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And I can tell you, with a plan and intentionality, you can do great things for your business. And working with John, somebody who can help you with that, it takes the knack to be able to do these things correctly. But when you zone in on the people, you could be so specific on the type of people, the area of people, and all the things you want to get to with online ads, that I think it's very important. But I'm also always a very big proponent on really getting active in Google, social media, all those kind of things, with the things that they give you that cost you nothing to start with. I think those things help you move that needle in the right direction, start making a difference, and people start seeing you, the visibility raises. Then when you place the ads, John, then people really are saying, okay, I've seen this guy around. Now I'm finding more information about him. So I'm going to let you wrap up with a final comment here. Comments on what I just said. Give us your final gold nugget of the day today. And then how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, really, to build upon what you just said there, advertising is amplification. It's amplification of what you're doing, of what reputation you're building, of the service that you're providing to customers. And so if you aren't doing the right things in terms of, offering something that people really want and need in a competitive price, and doing a great job with your service, getting good reviews, things like that, then it's going to be hard for advertising to work well for you, because advertising just amplifies what you have. And if you don't have anything good, then more of not good is not good. So don't view advertising as a magic bullet. View it as something to help you grow something that you've already, the kernel of something that's working well. And something that we put a lot of time into is trying to create content that is helpful to businesses, kind of along these lines. So you asked best place to learn more about learn more about Stub Group. I direct you to our YouTube channel. Just search Stub Group on there. Lots of that free content on there. And then also stubgroup.com if you want to reach out and connect with our team and talk about maybe working together. That's where you can find all the relevant information.
Well, and I want to remind everybody that all that information is right under John now, at least a lot of it. And the other part, I don't think that we have the YouTube page on there, so we'll make sure and get that. But I want to make sure and let everybody know it's clickable to get to John. You can go straight to him and you can start a conversation. You don't have to remember all this. It's in the show notes, in the comments. Just click on it, go straight to John today. We try to make it simple for you so you don't have to think a lot about it. And so that is a blessing. But also, John, I want you to comment on one last thing, because I have found this. YouTube can be a great source. I know that it is the number 2. It's owned by Google, so it's the number 2 search engine. People looking at things all the time. And what I have found is a great breakdown of demographics, of the numbers and times of day, all the information about what you need, and are your videos working, right? So you're using those videos for advertising or image building, and are they working? Are you putting them out at the right time of day? Are they reaching the right demographic that you want to reach at that time of the day? Are they getting the right number of people? Are they getting people to watch your videos? Talk really quickly, just a couple of minutes on that, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, we found YouTube to be very helpful for us as a business for kind of a couple stages, I'd say, in the funnel. So first of all, we'll create content that appeals to people who are searching on YouTube for specific answers. Like you said, YouTube's the second largest search engine right after Google. And so someone searching for, how do I run a Performance Max campaign on Google? Well, they can see the videos that we created about Performance Max and how it works, how we think about it, etc. It's also valuable then for people who, once they kind of find us and say, hey, there's some really interesting information, let me subscribe. And now we've got that connection where we're building a relationship over time. We're continuing to provide value. And at some point, we're hopeful, obviously, that the people who've subscribed will see there's so much value. These guys know what they're doing. They probably can help me take my business to the next level. And so let's have a conversation, see if we're a good fit. And then even for our existing clients that we're working with, it's just a great way to keep reinforcing the fact that they made the right decision by coming to join us, and that we are at the cutting edge of what's going on with the platforms. We're thinking about things very seriously and strategically. We're testing things. And so it's a very valuable for all those different stages in the funnel to both, again, introduce us to new audiences, as well as reinforce who we are to the people that are already aware of us and that we're already working with.
Yeah, no, that is so good. All right. Well, and let me tell you, everybody, we're in a world where people want to find authentic connection with people, and really, and video and YouTube is great. But let me give you some advice that I really truly believe. And that is, you know what? There's days, and mornings are my best time, but there's days when I don't feel good and I'm not feeling it. But what I try to do is project my best when I'm on video, when I'm on live here. I try to conserve my energy and give my best. That is not being inauthentic if I collapse after this and have to sleep for 2 hours. What it's doing is it's showing people, I want to show them my best, and give them an image of what I can really do for them and be the positive, upbeat person that I am. Just because you're not feeling great doesn't mean you have to get on and be down. And because people don't really want to watch that, just FYI. People don't want to be drugged down. They want to be lifted up. So since I personally deal with this all the time, just want to give that as a tip, because people sometimes say, oh, well, that's not authentic. That's not really me. No, it is really you. You may not feel like it right now, but just be you, right? Be the best you can be. And I just think that's always a positive way to live life. So, John, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. You've got so much value. We're definitely going to have you on again. And I appreciate you being here today. I'm going to say goodbye now, but hang tight just in the green room. I'm going to come back and chat with you when I get done.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Russ.
you, my friend. You bet. All right, everybody. There you go. I'm telling you, I want to emphasize that again today. Because my marketing tip of the day, and when I said you can make an impact, right? You can, but you got to give the best you. Giving the best you is not inauthentic, even if you don't feel great. Okay. So I wake up today. I needed more rest. I didn't feel super great when I got out of bed, but that doesn't mean I can't give you my best right now, right? I can take time and rest after this. I can take time and do the care that I need. But this is just a tip to you, because people want to build, know, like, and trust with people that they want to watch, that they aspire to. And you don't want to be fake, but at the same time, you can give your best. That's all I'm saying. Give your best, be the best you can be, and don't try to be somebody else, right? I think there's so many people trying to be somebody they're not, and don't. Be you, be the best you can be. And I think that's great advice today. Don't forget to connect with John. All of his information is there, including his YouTube now is up there. And I am just so thankful for everybody joining today. Such a blessing to come to you. This gives me energy. I love being around people, and I know that all of you are not right in front of me, and that can be more difficult at times with video, but I picture all of you out there, and it fires me up and it gives me energy, and I'm thankful for it. So anyway, just wanted to remind you that we are here every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for your not only viewing, but listening pleasure, don't forget this goes live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but then it becomes a video podcast and it sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook forever. So you can go back to that. You can comment, you can engage, you can contact the guest or the host. You can subscribe to my YouTube page. You can do any of those things, but it also then converts to audio podcast. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And don't forget, take a look at that marketing tip of the day today again and share that with your friends. And I'd appreciate that so much because that's just meant for value for you. So anyway, don't forget that all of our guest information is here for you. And I'm going to give this to you one more time. Our YouTube page that we'd love for you to subscribe is Marketing with Russ Live. So to get a hold of me on YouTube, there you go. And this is my website, russhedge.com. Super simple. My name and the name of the show. You can make it. You can do it. With that, have a blessed and amazing rest of your week. So glad that you're all here. We'll talk to you next Monday. See you, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.